So I am a wife for 27 years. I'm a mother of two beautiful, beautiful kids. They're both getting their masters, so that's exciting. Paul and I are what do they call it? Empty nesters. Yes, and having a good time at that. All right. It's been 15 years as a team leader for Keller Williams, and I am the one of the top 50 team leaders with Keller Williams, so that's exciting. And my favorite pastime right now is I love hanging out with Paul, right? And we go to the city a lot, and we have a lot of fun together. So yes, I'm really, really excited. Teresa, I'm going to ask you to mute yourself if you don't mind. Now, this is going to be a little interaction, right? I want to see what's going on with you all, and if you guys have any questions when we're moving forward. I want to know what's going on in your world and how we can support each other in pushing the ceiling for the next 6 months, right? The next half of the year, right? So what you'll gain today is proven systems and models, momentum to build a sustainable business, and it's going to be a little bit of a mind shift for you guys, all right? So I am going to put in the chat a few things as well. There is a handout that I want you to grab if you're able to, or at least you'll be able to grab it after. It's a worksheet that's going to help you kind of get focused and see what's going on. So I grabbed other people's text or both. There we go. And then that's in my stand store. And then you're probably going to want to download that if you want, or you can look at it later on. And then I'm going to do this, this, that, and then that should be it. Yep. Anybody have any questions before we get rolling here? All right. Okay. So I am going to do this. All right. Just remember when you are struggling, you're not broken, right? You are not broken. All you need is the right models, the mindset, and be surrounded by the right people. Don't you agree that being around the right people is so, so important? All right. We're going to start off by talking about your big why. What is your big why, right? Why are we doing this crazy, crazy business called real estate? I want you to be thinking of what your purpose, your mission, or a need that gives you focus. What is that one thing that is driving you?
Hi.
Hello? You're not muted. I'm going to add some more people here. Okay. So what I want you to be thinking about is what drives you to move forward in real estate? What drives you every single morning? Because the big why, when you have a big why, the how just shows up. Have you heard that before? This is going to be an interaction, right? So I want to talk about that. I want you to be success leaves clues, right? So successful people who are in the business, they always talk about their why. They know where they're going. They know where they're striving for, right? So when I ask this, it's important for you to be really, really thinking about it. And if you have a pen and paper, go to page, later on, look at page 69 in the MREA book, right? It talks about a millionaire mindset, and it talks about the focus on why, the main reason why people fail. And then the main reason why people do succeed is because they are very, very focused on their big why, and they have it out there. It's like there's a picture of it, in their office, or there's a purpose, if you will, right? So we want to make sure that you know exactly what it is. This way you are moving forward with the right mindset, because mindset is so important, and it's good to have clarity. Clarity is power. And when your why is big enough, it pulls you through the how. So I want you to remember that. Your why is your actual most important thing to know before you start thinking bigger, and to know before you start pushing through ceilings. Okay? Anybody have any questions, or anybody want to share what their big why is?
Este caso habla que a tus pelos de una vez por todas.
I'm gonna mute you. I'm just muting some people here.
I'm
Anybody
here,
want?
Michelle. My big
Yes,
why is that I have a passion for the business. It originally started when I bought my first house 7 years ago. I was intrigued by the process and I was very included in it. And I
I
fell in
love
love
it.
with it. And working with clients and watching them make one of the biggest home purchase and have a good experience through the process and have it go smooth and seamless. I think that that's my why, is that's your reward, is to see happy families.
That's beautiful. I want you to dig deeper though with yourselves, right? So when you set out a goal and you set out um, let's say if there's a certain transaction count or if there's a certain number that you want to hit, what are you going to do with that? Break it down for yourself, right? And break it down. So let's say if it's for college or if you want to get that second home or you want to pay off your mother's house to have life a little bit better, right? So I want you to be really, really digging deep on that for me because I want you to be also to be thinking, I want you to write this down. What is it going to feel like when you hit your goal? What is it going to feel like? And sometimes it's about you're feeling successful, right? You're feeling that you were able to achieve greatness and help your family out, right? And sometimes it's about the bigger picture. Are you guys following me with this with your big why? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. And so
Yes.
good, 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 good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just adding some people here. So it's just important to stay focused on that, right? And so I really want you to take a moment though, and just if you have your pen and paper there, write down what it would feel like. Because on the flip side of that piece of paper, I want you to write down what it would feel like if you didn't achieve your goal, right? And I know a few of you who I coach or a few of you who are in my offices have done this with me, this exercise. And sometimes it does bring you to tears, right? Because the thing is you have to hit your goal, right? And sometimes we are hitting ceilings and we don't know how to push through them and you want to so badly and you kind of get discouraged, right? So the whole goal of today is really digging deep in your big why and really learning some tools that will help you push through your ceiling. 31. Okay, I'm gonna mute you, Jen, right there. There we go. All right, does anybody want to share another big why?
I can.
Sure, thank you.
So I don't tell everybody this because I never know how it's going to come across to people who view me as their business person or not. So my big why is honestly to make as much money as I possibly can leading up to retiring, be able to retire comfortably and not have to worry. If I fund things along the way, fine, but mainly
Mhm.
focusing on building up, those accounts, those funds that I could live off of once that time comes comfortably.
Right, I love that. That's good. Do you have you sat down and wrote out what that number is?
Not a number.
Okay, so if I can encourage you, I'm going to coach you right now here. If I can encourage you to write down that number, because if you don't have a number, it's a dream.
Okay.
Just write down that number because you can actually say, okay, I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. And in order to achieve, this, I need to do X, Y, and Z. But if you don't know what you're striving for or what that number is, it's just a dream. And if you write it down, it's going to become more tangible. You follow me?
Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. Okay, I want you to be thinking what is working now in your business. And Josephine, thank you so much for sharing. We truly appreciate it. And Charlene, you as well. Thank you. All right. What is working in your business now? What is working in your business now that you can be so proud of because you are implementing it and you're moving forward with it? Anybody want to share? Okay. What about what is not working for you right now? You know it's a waste of time and it could be a waste of money, but you're still doing it because I don't know why.
I can I can share what's working right
Yes,
now.
please.
Being consistent,
Consistency is
showing up to
key.
showing up to the office certain days, certain hours, so my colleagues are seeing me and know that I'm there. So when they need something, they often come to me. So if they need help with their open houses, or if they need help on a listing or with a buyer, they know they can count on me. And then also being consistent with my time blocking, where I'm emailing, calling people. I I know there's some days where I don't feel like picking up the phone and I don't want to go into the office, but I feel like if I push myself and do it so it stays consistent, I can see the rewards. Like it's definitely paying off.
100%. And I really appreciate you sharing that. Does anybody else want to share?
I can share.
Yes, please.
I think right now the biggest thing that's working for me is putting everything in my calendar. Before I didn't put stuff in my calendar and I was kind of a mess. And now I even have my lead gen time in the calendar. And I know every day when I look at it the night before, I know, okay, from 10 to 1 or something, I'm going to be lead genning. And then after that, I can do whatever else I have on my calendar. So
That is
that's
great.
my biggest thing right now.
That is beautiful. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing. So, do you think, I mean, great leaders, right? Successful people, they show up and they surround themselves with successful people. So, Josephine, when you were sharing that you show up and you go into the office and you are there, I believe that, oh, no, it was Parmita who was sharing that, right? So, you want to be surrounded by great people. You want to be around successful people. You want to make sure you are in the same rooms as great people, especially if you want to achieve higher numbers, if you will, right? Back, lack of saying exactly what your goal is, right? So when you do this, you want to it would basically raise your lid, right? If you're surrounding yourself with the right people, it's going to raise your lid. It was proven fact. She gets the open houses that are being offered to her directly instead of her trying to figure out where they at, right? So it truly is raising her lid. So what you want to be thinking about right now is, are you surrounding yourself with the right people? Are you attracting yourself to the right people? Because great people, when they're in the right rooms, attract more people, more great people. Don't you agree? So I do see a couple people on here that weren't in the right rooms. I would have to say like a year ago, right? Or even 6 months ago. Don't you agree when I say that if you are surrounding yourself with great people, it raises your lid as well? It's kind of like the energy creates energy, right? So here you are getting the momentum from the people you're surrounding yourself with. Yes. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so the whole thing is when you aren't seeing that result, when you aren't in the right room, you need to change your room up. You need to be able to check yourself and see what those results are if you're not achieving the goals, right? Because you need to ask yourself, are they discouraging your goals? Are they discouraging your activities, right? So, and sometimes you need to change your five people, as John Maxwell would say, right? So you want to make sure um, you are surrounded by the great people that will push your ceiling and support your dreams and support your vision. Great people seek out great people. That's the bottom line. And great people will always be pushing their ceiling. Great people will always, or successful people will always be in education and be pushing themselves to be a better individual. Does that resonate with you all? Yes. Okay. Give me that thumbs up. All right. So mindset reset, right? So from survival to strategy. Okay. What does your inner voice tell you? I should ask somebody to read this, huh? What does your inner voice say when things get hard? Is it pushing you forward or is it holding you back? Sometimes we have to reframe our self-talk, right? Instead of saying, I'm not consistent, I'm learning to be more consistent. Right. I don't do great follow-up. I just don't because it's not on my calendar. But if you say I'm getting better because it's on my calendar, like Angelina, like you were saying, right? Okay. So you don't need to hustle more. What you need are better habits. Don't you agree? Yes. All right. So better habits will implement better success. It's proven just with our conversation that we had in the first 10, 15 minutes. People are showing up in the office and they're getting better results. People are using their calendar and they're getting better results because in the past they weren't. They were feeling scattered. So if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist, right? That's what we always talk about. Successful people make decisions early. And once they decide, they stop worrying about everything. They start acting and they start managing those decisions with intention and not hesitation, right? So every single morning you have a choice. You have a choice of what your activities are going to do. Are you going to allow it to consume you, or are you going to make sure you are doing the right activities to produce the results that you're looking for? So even in my world, oh my gosh, yesterday was definitely unforgettable for me in the morning. I have a daily routine that I do. I get up in the morning and I go work out early. Well, lo and behold, I have a flat. And I didn't notice it until I was driving to the gym. So I had to get out of the car, go to the gas station at 4:30 in the morning, not safe, right? Kind of a little nerve-wracking. And I couldn't get the screw off, right? Of on the tire. It's like I couldn't, it was somebody put it on so tight that I wasn't able to do it, right? So it took me 20 minutes there. And so I had a choice. I had a choice to go back home or go to the gym. And I went to the gym, even though I was clearly upset or frustrated, but I was able to make that choice because I know myself, I feel better after I go to the gym. Can anybody resonate, or do you have your own story when you had to make a choice of either letting it consume you or moving forward in a positive way? Anybody want to share?
One of the things that I do, Michelle, is, something goes wrong and I have to have that conversation with myself and say, am I going to milk this for the whole rest of my day?
Right.
Or am I going to just sit with it for a couple minutes and then move on?
Right.
Because it's easy to, get stuck in it.
It is easy to get stuck in it. It's easy to allow ourselves to do that because, let's be honest, it's easy. And that's pretty much what we do. And when it's a little bit harder and we push through it, the other side's going to look better. Thank you so much for sharing, Amanda.
Yeah, I can just share that in general, when life happens, you have one plan and then life happens and your plans get interrupted. For me, I cannot let it consume me because
Right.
that just makes me feel out of control. I don't like feeling dominated by anything. And so the only way that I'm
And I
going
know
to
you, Penny.
the only
Yeah.
way that I'm going to get through that is, and sometimes, my own stubbornness helps, but no, I'm going to push through it and I'm going to take control of the situation. And yeah, and then I just have to work on clearing the mental part of it. So it
Right.
doesn't frustrate me for the rest of the day. But
Right.
yeah, but I definitely push through. Yeah.
And I love that. I love that about you. Thank you so much for sharing. It is it's consuming. It could definitely consume you, but if you know, I mean, every single day we have to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. We have to, right? Because we have activities that we have to hit in order to produce the results that we're looking for. We just have to hit it. And guess what? There's a lot of accountability within our world. You know, some of you guys are on teams and some of you, you know, you're raising a family. You have that accountability right there. So you have to step up for yourself, right? Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. Why we hit our ceilings. This is really going to resonate with a few of you, I know already. Lack of systems. Lack of systems. Lack of clarity, too, right? Lack of consistency. The fear. There's a lot of fear, and there's like a mindset block. So if you can write down what you think is your ceiling right now, what is your true ceiling? What is that one thing that is holding you back? Is it the systems? Is it lack of clarity on lead generating, right? Lack of knowing what your true north is. Sometimes people are just like spinning and doing 5 different things. But if you focus on your lead generating systems that are working, or your pillars is what we call them, you'll be able to push forward. But I think it's important to know what's really standing in your way. Sometimes it's ourselves, no matter what. It's not even education. It's ourselves that's really standing in front of our way. Do you agree? Yeah. Yeah. And then sometimes it's knowing what your vision is and knowing what you want to do, but allowing it to really weigh too heavy on your chest and not talking about it with somebody who knows how to handle it, right? And again, it's being in the right rooms that you could talk about it and talk through it. I am going to say, Penny, I'm going to use you as an example. So Penny, you're on a call every single Monday with Rich and a few others. They jump in on it every now and then, and it's very it's accountability at the highest level. Don't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you're two separate individuals. You're not a team. You're working together to support each other, right? So it's good that you are surrounding yourself with someone like that. I mean, you were the number one last month, if I'm not mistaken, it was last month in volume. Do you contribute that being in the right rooms?
Yeah, definitely. And it's, what it is it's being able to again push through when things get, because of course I did a lot and then I have a lot more coming, that things get kind of hectic at a point and you want to just go
Yeah.
hide somewhere. But no, that
Don't be
accountability
hiding
and
on me.
yeah, and that accountability and the motivation, it just helps you push through and then get more organized and put more systems in place. And I tell everybody I'm still adapting to the systems and models, coming from a career of, just kind of shooting from the hip for the first 15 years of my career. So,
So you're
so
being more purposeful this go around.
yeah, absolutely. It's just, but it's more of a learning curve for me because, I've built, I've built a system out of not having a system. So,
Yes, and you run around that system sometimes. And
yeah.
and we allow, how do I say it? We allow it to run our world sometimes.
Hmm.
And that's not a life by design, that's for darn sure.
No.
Right. So yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So we really have to get focused there. Okay. So key concepts here on breaking that ceiling is, you need to know your levers, right, to break the ceiling. And so sometimes it could be a person because you're allowing your ceiling or their ceiling to be your ceiling, right? So it is once again your people who you're surrounding yourself with. Systems. So systems are the models that scale your business. Do you have a duplicated model that scales your business? Are you using a CRM? Oh my goodness. I met somebody she does a very large book of business and she doesn't use a CRM. And I'm like, could you just imagine if you adopted that system of a CRM? What would happen, right? So, okay. So the another key concept would be your belief and your language that drives your behavior. Again, sometimes it's what we are saying because we're listening to it, we hear it, and we start believing it. Has that ever happened to you guys where you are saying some negative things like saying, oh, Mondays are just so hard for me. Mondays are just so hard for me. And then you just living it that way, that Mondays are hard for you. There's like no energy on Mondays or
I actually came across a TikTok that said just for 1 week, no matter what happens or comes your way, don't complain. Just be grateful and stay positive no matter what happens, like getting a flat tire. So I really held on to that. And it's like, does this thought serve me? And then, you speak it into reality.
right. Right. That is awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Anybody else want to share? Okay, structure. Structure creates freedom. Am I right or am I right? Structure creates freedom. So even with you, Angelina, you having that calendar, right? I bet it's freed up some time for you so you can enjoy your world a little bit better. Yeah,
Yeah, it like completely changed my life.
I'm so proud of
Before
you.
I should have listened earlier to start it, and I just didn't. And I just realized in this business where you work for yourself, you really have to put your own schedule and show up for yourself like you went to a 9 to 5. Like if I
Yeah,
did it for my 9 to 5, why can't I make a schedule like my 9 to 5 and just work those same hours and put at least like 40 hours a week into this? And it's just grown my business a lot more.
it's mind blowing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yes. So you definitely need to use a calendar, and I'll digress just for a moment. On the calendar, you're going to put your four big rocks in, right? It's family, God, and then for us it would be lead generating and follow up, right? So and then you fill in with your appointments and things like that. So definitely follow a calendar. If anybody wants some coaching on that, let me know and I can help you with that. Um, all right, so these are some proven models, right? If you will, like a scorecard. I'm a big believer on a scorecard where you say you're going to do something and you hit your numbers or you make sure you do X amount of lead follow up or how many conversations a day you're going to have, how many appointments you're going to make, and you are held accountable to it. So you definitely need to find somebody who's going to hold you accountable because sometimes, even as adults, we need that extra person to pull us through. Okay. Um, so Haley, yes. So you need help with structure and time blocking. Definitely, we can help you with that. When you know what your lead generating activities are, you put them in your calendar. Some people like the social media, right? Some people like, oh my goodness, we should share what you do, Haley. Haley, can you tell us what you have done recently that was very successful for you, please?
Yes,
Are you at? Okay, go
sorry.
ahead. No, I didn't know if you were at work or not, but go ahead, please.
I'm just driving. So my main lead generation is basically being in the community and doing networking events. So I have been going to the local concerts in the parks and passing out popcorn with my newsletter, as well as a calendar that I created of community events. And I've been just walking around having, just very casual conversations with the community, letting them get to know me. And I've gotten about 7 leads from that in the last 3 weeks. And
That's
then I'm also
amazing.
part of the chamber and the Kiwanis. And both the chamber president, I talked to her like 2 days ago, and she was like, I've been getting so many people coming up to me, asking me about you and interested in everything that you're doing, how wonderful you're doing. And then same thing for the Kiwanis. He emailed me this morning and he was like, I have everyone coming up to me just talking about you and how, you know, how smart you sound and how enthusiastic about our community you are. And he's like, just keep up the good work. Like you are killing it. And so I'm just getting a lot of positive feedback just from like being myself and, bringing my kids with me, making it a family thing and doing the part of like, I love community and I love doing community events and everything. So I'm really just leaning into what serves me and looking for like-minded people. And it's working at like a 200% fullest max. I can't even imagine. So.
Haley, I am so proud of you. Right there, I know already that has totally pushed your ceiling and out of your comfort zone as well. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm an extroverted person, but it's still like a different level of like just like walk up to a stranger and just be like, "Hey, like, do you want to talk about real estate while you're trying to listen to a music and interrupt you and what you're doing too?" So it's like I felt very like, "Oh, I don't want to like feel like I'm bothering people. They're not coming to an open house to talk to me about real estate. Like, I'm not interrupting their lives to do it." And everyone is, but I'm doing it in a very like coming at a place of service and not a place of like,
Yes,
I need you to buy, like
right.
providing a
Knowledge.
to them and knowledge and it's just opening up so many different conversations and everyone's remembering for me from each event. So it's given me a lot of confidence, especially as a newer agent, that lead generation works.
It does. Oh my gosh, right? Right? Yes. So the thing is, you just need to figure out what your niche is. Obviously, even when you do your open houses, you have a niche. You're the coffee gal, right? So
Yep.
everybody's going to be seeing you and remembering this, right? So I don't know if Minerva's on here. She was saying that she was going to jump on. So Minerva, this gal that we have in our Ripon office, she I wish I could remember what her handle is on Instagram. But now people are calling her to do reviews. And she's only been doing this really solid for like 6 months right now. And it's getting her out there and it's working. They're calling her for the review, like a winery called her for the review because she's actually doing a reel where she's walking in and she has the most beautiful smile ever. And she's doing the review on, let's say, Baskin Robbins, or let's say we were at a candle place, right? And she did a review there, and people are wanting her. Oh yeah, there she is. Oh no, Amanda, thank you. Yes, Minerva, the foodie realtor, but she's actually doing on other items as well, not just food. And I'm just so stinking proud of her that she found her niche. And then you look at Taylor Thompson. She does a lot of reality with her family. She does her reels around that. So it's not just real estate. They're bringing in more personal as well, right? And they're leveling it up that way as well. So that's good. Does anybody have any questions around that? So you need to figure out what your scorecard's going to be, what your structure is going to be. Obviously, so the four that or the five that we have right here, these are just examples of what should be on your scorecard to push your ceiling further. Okay. And then we've been saying this throughout this whole, I don't even know what time it is, but oh, we have been talking a long time already. So I'm so sorry. I'm talking about other things and we need to stay focused here. I just noticed what time it is. But I want to go back and just remember your brain is listening to what you're saying. So if you can go through what Charlene was saying is always be as positive as possible, right? Kind of reword it so you can get through the day. We all have stuff. Life shows up every single day for each one of us, right? And it's just what we have control over is how we handle it. So it's how we handle it. All right, real talk, right? So real talk, why agents don't take action is sometimes we're perfectional. We want everything to be 100% right. Like we have to know everything about it before we move forward. So you don't you don't need to know everything. You just don't. Right,
Just
Penny?
99% of it.
Yeah, we're still working on that with you.
It's a work in progress.
Yes. And distractions, right? There could be distractions going on in your world that keeps you off your scorecard and you're allowing things to distract you, even though when people want the accountability, they know when I call them or text them that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to tell Michelle, no, I didn't do this because of X, Y, and Z, right? And the thing is, we really want to learn how to overcome those distractions. We need to figure out what your trigger is, or you need to, or we do. We need to figure out what the trigger is that's going to push you forward, right? And sometimes it's the lack of accountability. Nobody's holding you accountable to what your dreams are and what your vision is. And so you're allowing yourself to allow the day just to run you and you not work in your business like you should be. Sometimes we do mistake movement for achievement. I mean, that's a bold law, and sometimes we really, really do. Fear of rejection. I'm sure a few of you have gone through the day being nervous or holding an open house or having conversations that you are a little bit fearful sometimes and you won't have those conversations because it's new to you and you're fearful of that. Is that accurate? So the coaching tip for this one is don't overthink it. Don't overact. Just doing it is better than it being perfect because once you get used to just doing it, it becomes a habit. All right. So I'm watching the time, you guys. I want to protect it. So the power of 90 days. What could you do in your business in 90 days from now that I can't, hang on just for a moment. Somebody's doing, there we go. What can you do in 90 days from now for your business to show that you're all in, right? We don't need a someday plan. We need something clear. We want to be intentional. We want a now plan. So what is that one thing? So when you are looking at success for the next 6 months, what does that look like? And what is that one thing that needs to change in your business to push you closer to your ultimate goal? What is that one thing? Because you know down deep inside what that one thing is. You know it is. I mean, Penny, let's be honest. We know exactly what yours is right now. We need to find that man an assistant. We know it, and we're going to do it.
Yep,
But
it's going to happen.
it will happen. It
Yeah.
will happen. And yes, consistency is key. Jen, consistency is key. So if you put that on a little sticky on your laptop, Jen, consistency, I bet you anything, you're going to see it and it's going to resonate with you every single time you open up your laptop or even your phone, right? Consistency is key. Definitely. Anybody want to chime in on that one? What are you going to do in the next 90 days? I mean, we've gone over a few different ideas here. Calendaring. I like that. I like that.
Sure,
Lead gen.
definitely for me would be calendaring. It's just I still hold on to my day job, so it's hard sometimes to be able to do some work and squeeze it in with just family life and work itself. So I've been trying to be more cautious, but I'm lacking on my calendaring. But for sure, I've been sometimes even during my lunch hour, I'm like trying to get some real estate stuff in. So
That's
calendar.
good that you are recognizing it, right? Let me shed some light here for you. Our rookie of the year, 4 years ago, let's say, she was a general manager at a restaurant, and yet she was rookie of the year. She had some high goals and she did it. So it all goes back into the very first part of this conversation. What is your big why? Why is it important to you? What would it feel like when you achieve this? And then what would it look like if you didn't achieve it, right? So you just need to dig deep. If you need to spend some time with me, I'd be more than happy to chat with you a little bit
Would
more.
love that.
Mhm.
Please squeeze
You
me
got
in.
it. Yes, yes, you got it. We definitely will. Does everybody know who Myra is, who's in California? Her son is Edgar, the one who played the mariachis for us at our Cinco de Mayo party in Sacramento. Just share some of that. Everybody loves Edgar. All right, momentum, execution, and accountability. We just talked about this, right? So, clear written goals. You need to write down right now, what does success look like for you in the next 6 months? And what is that one thing that is like the game changer to get you closer? Okay, so write that down and write down what your clear goal is, right? And then progress the tracking. You need to track it. You need to have a SMART goal around it. So make sure you do that. And then obviously, peer accountability is really good. Penny and I were just talking about that, right? On Mondays, him and Rich, it's all about that accountability, mentorship, right? So, and coaching. A few of you have coaches, and that will hold you to a higher level, if you will, right? It'll teach you how to raise your lid, right? So, Penny, you and I meet once a month and we go over things like this: what's working, what's not working, and how do we shift it up, right? So, if I can encourage you to make sure you write down your goals, do the weekly check ins, and track it, and find somebody who can truly help you accountable to those goals. If you go back to the worksheet that I put into the chat, it'll help you outline it. Okay, so if you need me to re-put it in that, just let me know. Momentum. Different results require different habits. Do you agree? Yeah, momentum. Different results require different habits. Because if you keep on doing the same thing and not change it up, A, you're not being learning based, and B, you're standing in front of yourself of success.
And
You know
generally
it.
getting the same results.
Yes, you're getting the same result over and 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 over. And that's not fun. Yeah. Um, yes, I can share that. It's in my stand store. So whenever you guys hear me talking about things, I put them in my stand store, which is a link on my Instagram. But there you go. That should take you right to it. And there's some really good videos on there and other classes that like Rachel and I have done as well. Okay, okay, ready to break your ceiling. Okay, so here we go. So download the worksheet. You can book a one-on-one with me, a discovery session, and it's just you and I talking about where you want to go, right? And you can do it. You can find the link on my stand store, and we can schedule something. And the thing is, I want you to remember this. I'm no longer available for playing small. I want you to play big. I want you to be so purposeful now and not being so entrepreneurial. You, there's classes everywhere. There's coaching classes. There's one-on-ones that you can take, but you really, really need to push your ceiling for yourself and stop playing small. I will no longer wait for the right time. How does that resonate with you? How many times have you heard yourself say, I need to get X, Y, and Z done before I can do this? Does that sound familiar to anybody?
Yep.
Yes, I am no longer choosing fear. So there's people who are scared to do things. So we need to make sure that you faith over fear, right? So have faith in yourself and faith in the system and faith in, God in my world. So yes, I am stepping into a version of me that is ready for the next level. So if you want to screenshot this, and these could be your affirmations, right? And then it will help you push forward into the next 6 months. Does anybody have any comments or questions that they would like to share? We have less than 10 minutes, but I just want to make sure. Did you get what you came here for? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Did you, is there anything that anybody's struggling with, or if they would want to mastermind on anything right now that would support their business?
I've been focusing on making sure to just show up and integrating my calendar. And just you never leave with nothing or any gold nuggets. So going to the mega agent panels at the team meeting, all of the extra sessions that are throughout the week, just tapping in and learning what's working for them.
Yes. Yes. I 100% agree. Um, Yeah, the conversation and models. That's on Thursday. That was pretty amazing. I heard at 9 o'clock with Jose. I think it was last time. So and anybody can go to this. This is open up to everybody, not just our office. I know there's other agents on here from other offices and other brokerages, but it's together everyone achieves more. There's if you think about it, that pie is so big. As long as we get our slice and maybe a little bit more than our slice, we share. We come from abundance and not scarcity. That's what we are trained to do, right? What else is standing in your way, or if there's something you would like to share, or what's working for you?
I think for me, I never thought myself as being fearful, but that whole phrase right there has been popping up, I want to say consistently in my life for the last like 2 or 3 months. And I think it's there for a reason, because the more I think about it, I'm like, I actually have been living my life in a fearful way,
Mm-hmm.
being fearful of being successful, because especially, in my previous marriage is like, what does that mean? If I'm successful, well, that's going to be the death of my marriage there. There's fear there. Now I'm a single mom, fearful of, if I'm successful, is that going to take me away from my kids? Is that going to make me not be as a part of their lives as I want to, because I'm going to be busy creating a life for myself?
Right.
And so I guess I never saw those things as fearful, but that's what it is. It's like me creating an excuse out of this fear. And now I'm trying to work on, like, how do I change that mindset? I'm like, me creating a great life and a big life and a big successful career for myself, that's not going to take away from my kids. It's going to give my kids something.
Yes,
It's
it's a legacy that you're
Yes,
teaching
and
them.
have my kids be proud of me, and I'm including them in all parts of it. Like right now, my 15-year-old is putting stickers on coffee cups for me. It's like they are a part of my business, and so it's still me getting to be with them, but them getting to see me create something for myself. So
I
change that
absolutely
mindset
love
out
that.
here.
So
Yeah.
clarity's power, my friend. Just
Yes.
so you know, clarity is power.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. Thank you so much for coming on and learning, right? And breaking your ceiling. If there's anything that you would like me to teach on, that because a lot of you have known me for the 15 years that I've been with KW, I'd be more than happy to. I don't really teach or train too much in the offices because we have so many, and I just do it sporadically. I just spread my little pixie dust over there every once in a while, kind of thing. Or I do webinars. And if you go on my YouTube channel, you would see a lot of the webinars like Rachel Adams and I have done in the past and so forth. That's how we got our Lockford office, just so you guys know. Sherry actually saw one of our webinars and she gave me a call and we merged. So yeah, that's how that all happened. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much. If there's anything that I could do for you, please let me know. Go on my stand store and we can schedule a one-on-one, okay?